Imagine this for a moment. Your entire body mapped onto your feet, not metaphorically, but point by point, zone by zone. An ancient idea suggesting that every organ, every system, every function inside you is reflected below your ankles. This concept is called reflexology. And while modern science continues to debate its mechanisms, its history stretches back thousands of years, across cultures that had no connection to each other, yet arrived at remarkably similar conclusions. Today, we are not here to claim miracles. We are here to understand the idea, the philosophy, and why this simple concept has survived for so long. Because ideas that last this long usually speak to something deeply human. Let's begin at the beginning. Long before modern anatomy, long before MRI scans or surgical textbooks, ancient civilizations believed the body was an interconnected system, not a collection of isolated parts, but a flowing network of energy, circulation, sensation, and balance. In ancient Egypt, drawings discovered in tombs show figures working on hands and feet, accompanied by inscriptions that translate roughly to "I do not let it be painful. I will act so you praise me." In traditional Chinese medicine, the feet were seen as endpoints of energy pathways, known as meridians. By influencing these endpoints, practitioners believed they could encourage balance throughout the body. In India, Ayurvedic traditions described marma points, subtle locations where physical and energetic systems meet. Many of these points are concentrated in the hands and feet. Different cultures, different languages. Yet the same idea keeps appearing. The feet matter. Why the feet? From a practical standpoint, the feet contain thousands of nerve endings. They constantly send information to the brain about balance, pressure, and movement. They are also essential to circulation, carrying the weight of the entire body every single day. From a symbolic standpoint, the feet represent grounding, connection to the earth, stability, movement through life. Reflexology combines both perspectives. According to reflexology maps, the foot is divided into zones. These zones correspond vertically to the body. The toes reflect the head and brain. The ball of the foot corresponds to the chest and lungs. The arch mirrors the digestive organs. The heel reflects the lower back, pelvis, and sciatic region. Let's explore this map slowly. Start with the toes. In reflexology, the toes are associated with the head, brain, and sensory organs. The big toe is often linked to the brain and pituitary region. The smaller toes are associated with the eyes, ears, and sinuses. Practitioners believe that gentle pressure here may promote relaxation related to mental tension, not because it fixes the brain, but because stimulation and relaxation are deeply connected in the nervous system. Have you ever noticed how massaging your feet can make your entire body feel calmer? That response alone explains why this practice persisted. Moving down to the ball of the foot. This area is traditionally associated with the lungs and heart, the left foot reflecting the heart, both feet reflecting breathing patterns and chest tension. In many cultures, stress is described as heavy on the chest, shallow breathing, tight shoulders, a racing heart. Footwork in this area is often slow and rhythmic, encouraging deeper breathing and awareness of the body's natural rhythm. Again, not as treatment, but as relaxation. As we move into the arch of the foot, reflexology maps place the digestive organs here: the stomach, the liver, the pancreas, the intestines. This is fascinating because the arch is also one of the most sensitive and reactive parts of the foot. Digestion, after all, is not just mechanical. It is deeply influenced by stress, emotion, and the nervous system. When people say, "I have a gut feeling," they're not wrong. Modern research increasingly acknowledges the gut-brain connection. Ancient traditions recognized it intuitively. Pressure in this area is believed to encourage awareness of digestion, posture, and internal tension. Then we reach the heel. The heel is associated with the lower back, hips, pelvis, and sciatic nerve pathways. This makes intuitive sense. The heel absorbs impact. It bears weight. It stabilizes posture. Lower back discomfort is one of the most common physical complaints worldwide. Not because humans are fragile, but because we sit, stand, and move in ways our bodies were never designed for. Reflexology doesn't claim to realign your spine, but it does invite attention to how you carry yourself. And sometimes awareness is the first step toward change. Now let's talk about something important. Reflexology is not medicine. It does not replace medical diagnosis or treatment, and responsible practitioners say this clearly. What reflexology offers instead is something modern life desperately lacks: intentional pause, touch with attention, time spent listening to the body instead of rushing past it. When someone receives foot reflexology, the environment is usually quiet, slow, unhurried. The nervous system responds to this almost immediately. Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, muscle tension softens. This is not mystical. This is physiology. The parasympathetic nervous system activates when the body feels safe, and feeling safe is the foundation of healing of any kind. Across cultures, feet are treated with respect. In Japan, foot baths are a daily ritual. In Korea, public bathhouses include detailed foot soaking and massage traditions. In the Middle East, washing the feet is a symbolic act of care and humility. Even in Western cultures, phrases like "put your feet up" mean rest, recovery, and relief. So why did reflexology specifically become so widespread? Because it's accessible. You don't need equipment. You don't need advanced anatomy knowledge. You need time, attention, and gentle pressure. That simplicity is powerful. Modern reflexology practitioners are often trained to avoid claims of cure. Instead, they focus on relaxation, circulation awareness, and stress reduction. And here's the interesting part. Many people report benefits not because of pressure points alone, but because they finally slow down. They breathe, they feel, they notice tension they've been ignoring for years. In a world obsessed with productivity, reflexology does something radical. It asks you to stop. Now let's address the skepticism. Does modern science fully support reflexology maps exactly as they are drawn? No. There is limited evidence that specific points directly affect specific organs. But there is strong evidence that touch, massage, and relaxation positively affect stress hormones, blood pressure, mood, and sleep quality. So the question becomes less about maps and more about meaning. Reflexology gives people a framework to reconnect with their bodies. And frameworks matter, because humans don't just heal physically, they heal psychologically, emotionally, socially. When someone believes their body is interconnected, they tend to treat it with more care. They notice pain earlier, they rest sooner, they breathe deeper. That alone can change outcomes. Now imagine this image again: a foot, with the brain, heart, lungs, stomach, kidneys, and spine laid out across its surface, not as literal anatomy, but as a reminder. Your body is not separate pieces. It is one system. Stress in the mind affects the gut. Tension in the back affects breathing. Poor sleep affects everything. Reflexology doesn't promise to fix all of this. It simply invites awareness, and awareness is powerful. In modern wellness culture, reflexology is often combined with aromatherapy, meditation, and gentle music. Not because those things are magic, but because the nervous system responds to environment. Your body listens to context. Fast lights, loud noise, constant alerts tell your body to stay alert. Quiet touch tells it to rest. And rest is not laziness. Rest is maintenance. One reason reflexology has endured is because it aligns with something deeply intuitive, that the body wants balance. And given the right conditions, it often moves toward it naturally. Think of how children fall asleep anywhere when they feel safe. Think of how animals rest instinctively when injured. Humans are the only species that often ignore these signals. Reflexology gently reminds us to pay attention again. You don't have to believe every map. You don't have to memorize zones. All you need to understand is this: your feet carry you through your entire life. They absorb impact, pressure, and fatigue without complaint. And sometimes the most profound act of self-care is simply acknowledging that. So the next time you sit down, take off your shoes and place your feet on the ground. Remember this image, not as medical truth, but as symbolic wisdom, a reminder that your body is connected, that stress travels, that rest matters, and that sometimes healing begins not with fixing, but with listening, slowly, gently, from the ground up.